Hello, everybody. Welcome, agents, back to Spy Game, our one shot that we're doing here, sponsored by Black Cats Gaming. We're doing part 2 today, and it's a pretty it's a pretty. I was sharing with the agents right before we went live how amused I am because they did so well in Act 1, securing the item that they needed to secure and getting the job done, despite some of the stumbling chaos that was taking place. It was done so well that we actually get to skip Act 2. There was no chase scene because y'all executed the plan so damn well, which I know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Sam. I'm so sorry.
But the car is all rainbow and everything, and it probably goes faster because rainbow gives you more zoom. That's science. It's science, no. Eric.
Next time, screw up. I mean, I don't know why you ventured off the path, but you decided to not screw up, and here we are. You lost the chase scene. This is all your fault.
Screw up more.
This is gonna be where Sam becomes one of the first players in streaming history that constantly flubs their dice rolls as ones. Oops! Looks like I rolled a 1 again. Looks like I get a chase scene. All right. So today we're gonna be jumping into Act 3 of the mission. Before we begin, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are running this game from the quick start. We have been kind of improvising a little bit, but for the most part, this is the quick start adventure that is available for free on Drive-Thru RPG. And Spy Game itself, the core book, was just released recently, so you can also pick that up on Drive-Thru RPG. And our friends at Black Cats Gaming, we're a big fan of Sam, who of course works over at Modifius. We've known Sam for a while, and we're really excited to be taking part. Full disclosure, I did work on this book, and I'm very, very proud to have done so. I created one of the agencies and was a contributing writer on one of the adventures. So it's been a lot of fun. It's my first game, y'all. My first game. Well done. Oh well, that's technically true. Technically, it's my second game because we did Carnival Row together, Sam. So. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the game today. But before we do, let's just do a quick reminder and refresher for everybody on who you are playing. We'll start with you, Aki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aki, and I am playing Daff, your ranger with an academic background and a penchant for teasing their teammates.
All right. Bonnie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bonnie Gordon. I'll be playing Machete, the hacker. Haha, get it? Sharp edges and all that. But sharp here.
Edge is there, too. All right. Ravity.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ravity, and I am playing the medic of the team. I'm playing Gray, who has a background in, well, she was once upon a time, she was a pediatrician, and then she found kids very boring and not as exciting as spy stuff. So she's here, and she's ready to be team spirit.
You ever do that? You ever just like work with kids, and then one day you're like, I'm going to join a spy agency, and then you're never seen again?
What a jump. Like pediatrician,
Mondays, right?
Secret spy.
I think it really was Monday. She just like looked up from her cup like, I think I'm going to be a spy today. And then she just went out and did it.
Paused a mid sip of coffee and just got up out of her classroom and left, or got up out of the hospital and left.
Let me see what secret spy things are on LinkedIn.
You think she just woke up one day and said, I think I'll go to law school?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Sam?
Yeah, so I'm Patch. I'm the technician. I am your gadgeteer. I am, in all senses, your wheelman, but apparently not for the purposes of chase. Well, maybe some other chase. We don't need to get into it, Daff, and I would appreciate some respect. Thank you.
No chase yet, Sam. Yet.
Make the chase you want to. I'll work on it.
All right. Well, now that we know our agents, let's go ahead and dive right back in to Act 3 of our adventure today. Your mission. After successfully acquiring the data chip at the casino during the first part of this mission, you have been able to decrypt a lot of the information that is on the chip itself. We're going to go ahead and start right off the bat with you making a roll, Machete, because you're accessing the data that is on this chip. And this is sort of like an in-between, if you will, cutscene between the last mission and this mission to find out what it is that's on this chip specifically.
Can I get an assist from our technician? Or no? Because it's a piece of tech.
Actually, I think like pulling this thing open and
Without
It's a warp
damaging it.
chip.
Yeah, taking it apart without damaging it, and then I can hack it.
Actually requires tools. And I have tools on my list.
okay.
Specifically hacking tools, actually.
Tell you what, since y'all are being so creative about this, I'm going to say yes.
Yay.
So you'll get advantage on the roll. The DC is 12.
Gotcha, kiddo.
Didn't you know that teamwork makes the dream work?
All right. And this is a infotech, I'm assuming, roll.
That's correct.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay. 18 definitely hits it. So plugging this chip in and accessing the data that's on the inside reveals something rather curious. You are seeing what looks like a readout, or it looks like a map specifically, like an overhead sort of satellite map with a lot of data readouts coming through on Hachijojima Island. I practiced it and then I threw it out the door. It's Hachijojima Island.
You can just say Hachijo Island because Jima is island.
Right. Hachijo Island. That's better for my poor uncultured Western mind. So yes, Hachijo Island is currently what you're looking at on this data readout, Machete. And as it kind of pivots left and right, you're seeing all these data readouts, and you're seeing what looks like it looks like a map of some of the people that live on this island. There's about 7,000 residents living on this island. It is a fishing town. It is not too far off the coast of Japan. And it seems to be a data readout specifically on what looks like a fault line that is underneath Advanced Geothermics Laboratory, which is based there. Now, if y'all remember correctly, the Advanced Geothermics facility that is located here, this is actually owned and operated by the very person that you all discovered the identity for last game.
Kujujin, right?
Correct. Codename Jijin. She is the CEO of the very company that owns all of these new powers, these like energy, the energy industry that she works in, primarily, which has been like fossil fuels and whatnot. This is one of the few cleaner energy plants that she owns.
Also, for all the viewers, I apologize in advance for every word that I will mispronounce.
It's okay.
This game, I do not have Xander there to correct me.
You're fine. You're fine.
We're all my Japanese.
Aki.
We do have Aki.
Yeah. So it looks like this is some kind of mapping overhead of what looks like unstable seismic activity that is taking place inside underneath the island structure. It's located close enough, of course, being in Japan, it is close enough to the Ring of Fire where you can actually see that it is the geothermal facility itself. It looks like it specifically has mapped out locations of weak points in a fault line. You look like you have a question, Aki.
I do. Since Dab has a scientific background, is there some way that I could make a check that would let me know, like, exactly what kind, like the intensity of earthquake that would be required to like really fuck this area up? Like,
go ahead. Yes, I'll let you make that. What kind of
would this be survival or
no?
Okay, you can tell me what it is. I'm cool with.
What skills do you have that you might think would apply here? Because we might just make this a straight up insight check. If you don't have any academics or anything like that.
Let me look at my other page really fast.
Sure.
Sorry. So I'm a natural explorer. So let's see. That doesn't really help though.
We can just make it an insight check.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we'll also the DC at 12.
I rolled a 12 plus 5, so that's 17.
Okay. This is an island located in the Indonesian Ocean. And where it's situated, in some of the seismic activity, the faults that you see just underneath the plant itself, it's conceivable that if you were to, say, detonate something over one of these fall lines, it would absolutely it would destroy the island, probably, is what you're guessing. Judging from, because one of the things that's kind of a dead giveaway is there seems to be a magma fault line, like a dormant volcano underneath this island.
So as they're watching Machete and Patch kind of pull this map up and we're all looking at it together, Daft just kind of gets this look on their face as they're looking at the geography of it, and is sort of saying this very slowly as if just thinking out loud to themselves.
You can make a roll for this too, because as a doctor, I think you might actually have you've got some formal education.
Yeah, absolutely. Same insight?
Yeah.
Great.
So y'all are hearing you're hearing Daft kind of mutter this as you're looking at the computer screen and it's angling. You're getting this sort of like chill in the back of your neck but what doesn't make sense is this is her facility. This is her power plant on top of this fault.
Why would I have a hard time believing that she would do this to herself? So there must be something.
I got a 15.
Okay, cool.
Insurance! She must have a big insurance claim on her laboratory.
She's a relatively new CEO, isn't she?
Actually in the ecosystems of CEOs, it's not just that she's new, it's that it's unusual for her to have green energy, essentially. That's not typical of her. It's not something that she has invested heavily in, and it's not something she continues to invest heavily in.
What has she invested heavily in?
She is neck deep in the fossil fuels industry and the dirty energy, as it were.
There it is.
There it is.
Illustrate the dangers of clean geothermal energy. It forces investment back into a fossil fuel portfolio.
Absolutely.
Depending on how things are going with her own company, she might just be willing to tank on her own facility to do it.
So she built this huge laboratory, becomes CEO, only to destroy it in an entire island so she gets money back in her stock in fossil fuels.
It's speculation at this point, but it's as good a motive as any, I guess.
Not the weirdest evil genius plan we've heard. Remember the one with the freeze ray?
That's true.
That was lousy engineering, and if they had spent any time with it, but seriously.
All it did was cool off my drink.
And even then, it was still a little lukewarm, was it not?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Without Andrew's seismological data, whatever she's trying could be even more dangerous now, not backed by any actual science. We need to find out what's going on in that facility and stop it.
And once she finds out that she doesn't have the actual chip,
she's going to be coming after us anyway, so we might as well meet her in the middle.
Or not even at the middle. I know it's not the tropical island vacation we were wanting, but let's go island hopping.
Yeah, and I feel pretty good about this one. I mean, I'm pretty all for clean energy, and so, sometimes you have those missions where you're like, I don't know how I feel about this, but this one I feel pretty clear on.
Well, I mean, if she pulls it off, she's poisoning our atmosphere anyway, which wouldn't be all that great. So
exactly. So let's go stop someone who's trying to wreck our Earth.
I'm going to look up the actual facility and see what kind of clothing the employees wear there.
So don't worry. I first of all, I want to tip my hat to y'all because you're taking initiative to just do this on your own, but your agency is going to set you up with all of this because it turns out this mission is infiltrating the facility and getting inside and taking care of it. So submitting this data to Papa Bear, you get a reply from the agency of Streetworks within a matter of minutes. When the live feed starts coming back up, you see Papa Bear's face pop up on your laptop. And the grizzled old man looks up at everybody and just says, well, that's a hell of a thing. Well done. You did a good job on the first half. And we've analyzed the data that you sent over, Machete. And we estimate a 99.7% probability that your theory is absolutely correct. Jijin seems to be intent on sabotaging her geothermal facility specifically in order to raise her portfolio and destroy any chances of green energy really taking a foothold here in the Japanese islands. It also means the death of 7,000 people. If she's able to detonate the inside of that facility and set off a chain reaction within the island, we'll lose everything, and power across that part of the world is going to get fluctuating. But more importantly, 7,000 people located on that island will find themselves in the middle of an island that's tearing itself apart. We don't know specifically how she plans on doing this, but we've already got a briefing ready for you. So if you're all ready.
Of course.
All right. This is pretty straightforward. We've tracked Jijin to the island as thanks to Patch here. And the mission's quite simple. After assessing what it is we need to do, it's risky but simple. We need you to infiltrate the research facility on the island held by Advanced Geothermics and investigate the real operation that's going on there. And depending on what you find, you may need to act fast, but we do agree and concur with the very likelihood of some of the suspicions that you have all come up with. Therefore, you are authorized by any means necessary to disable that facility should you discover a threat and are able to act on it. We're going to supply a boat for you. We had to rent one, so please don't complain. It's the best we could do with what we had.
Thank you, PB, sir.
Fortunately for us, we have the best driver in Streetworks, so even if it's a piece of garbage, we'll still get him over to the island just fine.
Are we even still Streetworks if we're not on a street? It's a boat. Or boat works.
I don't have to take this from y'all. And it just cuts off. It's in transmission. Streetworks logo pops up on the stream.
I just elbow Daff.
You see all the information reading out immediately transmitted to you. Machete pops up on sort of your Gmail, as it were. And as it pops in, you see that it is listed that you are to meet. There is somebody who is an affiliate of Streetworks that is waiting for you at the docks, at the port, I should say. Who's going to be taking you all there immediately.
And I'm assuming we have clothes that would allow us to infiltrate, like as employees. Like
you have the gadgets and everything that was given to you at the top of this mission is what you've got.
Okay. I changed clothes. We're going island hopping.
What are you changing clothes into?
What?
What are you changing clothes? What are you changing into?
Oh, I'm trying to wear what would be considered an employee of Gemothermics. Considering I'm, mostly in pajamas and hoodies, I feel like I would change to something a little bit more professional.
Yeah, because right now you guys have no idea what the standard uniform for an employee over there is.
Oh, that's
Probably
true.
Lab coats and whatnot, or standard sort of industrial looking uniforms. But you do have, of course, that the gadgets that were given to you at the top of the mission. You were given sort of the layout of like the spectrum of would-be employees or don't notice me generic style like clothing, business professionals, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I put the chef one away. Haha.
All right.
And villains gotta eat.
Bring the chef one back. Put it back in the bag just in case.
One day that outfit is gonna see its heyday, and I cannot wait for it.
In the distance, there's a Bolian just weeping quietly.
Somewhere
All right.
far in the future.
Somewhere far, many hundreds of years into the future. All right, then. With any further ado, what we can do now is, because you have everything equipped, we can just do a jump scene where you all have arrived in the docks. You meet your contact, this middle-aged Japanese, looks like maybe like a retired fisherman of some kind, but also very discreet looking. He looks like he's one of these, not surprisingly, he looks like one of these people that could just blend into a crowd easily. He just looks like everybody else. Doesn't say anything to all of you, but he bows when you approach and gives you a warm smile and then ushers you onto the boat. As everybody gets onto the boat, he then unloads a string of pretty appalling swearing as he kicks the boat and gets it going. And then he throws his head back and laughs a little bit, glances at everybody and gives the thumbs up and says to you in Japanese, "It's not my boat, so please don't blame me." And just, and then starts immediately accelerating towards the island. It's 200-mile journey by sea. So you're arriving at night.
Yeah, I think that the moment he starts cussing, like Gav is just cracking up. It's like
he doesn't say much the entire journey. Probably, and this is not unusual, he's very much the consummate professional. He is dressed in like the heavy jeans, a button-up shirt, and is wearing a hat. It's kind of it tips a little bit too much into the don't notice me. So maybe he's not as experienced at this as y'all are, but for the most part, he just keeps watching navigation as y'all pilot yourselves to the island. It is choppy waters. The Indonesian Ocean isn't exactly the most friendly to small boat craft as they're going out into the water, but you do, after a long, 200-mile trip, you do manage to reach the island after sundown. It's about a 30 minutes journey from where you all basically park on the beach to the street, the road that takes you all the way up to the top of this island chain where you are at right now. The island's fairly large, but where you guys, thanks to the data readout and the satellite readouts that you got, Machete, you're able to pretty much situate yourselves where you need to be on the island and take one of the back streets. It does have paved roads in this area. So it doesn't take long to actually find the facility itself because it's the only large power plant that's actually on the island. So the research facility is located on Hiroshima, on Hachijo. Let's see, one of the Izu Islands. It's one of the Izu Islands off of the south coast of Japan. It is humid, subtropical island with a town of around 7,000 inhabitants in the shadow of a volcano, Nishiyama. Facility is around several buildings on the map. And I'm going to give you guys this. The Advanced Geothermics Facility is surrounded by a wire chain fence and consists of 3 large buildings, sort of like 2 in the back, 1 in the front. So think of it just like in that triangle formation, these 3 large square buildings. In the center of the complex looks like the office block with all the reception lights turned off tonight. The western side, there is a generator building, an industrial shed with a large steam chimney next to it. And on the east side, there's another building, larger than the industrial shed, but with similar architecture. A single security guard with a single torch patrols the perimeter of the generator building as heavy rain comes down all around you. You can try to bend the fence at any point, or you can try to sneak into the main driveway entrance. What will you do? It's become very clear as you see this lone security guard in the rain with a flashlight. You are not breaking into a mastermind's lair, and clearly they do not know you are coming. What would y'all like to do?
I'm inclined to break things and come in and fix a problem. Small islands don't tend to have a fiber hardline. They tend to have satellites for their internet, which means that there's something big, probably not in the center of the facility, that we can tap, get Machete some access, and cause enough problems that maybe a contractor comes in and solves.
And maybe have a little fun with it.
And maybe have a little fun.
There we go.
So Machete, you would know that in order to get any kind of digital infiltration going, you're going to need to hardline into the facility itself, which basically means based off of what Patch has told you, that can easily be done here. You're just going to need to find a place where you can plug in and then really do some damage. But Patch is 100% correct.
Yeah. The generator shed, would that have access to the main internet? Because I feel like that would be one of the most secure places that a lot of people would go into.
Right. We can, if we have, you said at the top that we had some satellite imagery of the island. Depending on how precise that is, that can tell us, since this is like an uphill thing, I don't want to give us line of sight necessarily. A satellite is going to be a visible fixture on top of the building. Mm-hmm. So we should know what building the satellites are in visually. Or with the satellite imagery that we got as part of our reconnaissance.
That's inside?
Can we see? No, I mean, like, a satellite.
Like a dish.
It needs to be outside.
Yeah.
So
can we see which building has a satellite on top of it?
Yes, if you want to make are you looking at the map itself?
Yes, either satellite imagery or what we can see with our eyes, depending on what you want to give us.
So the satellite imagery is very much like the map that's behind me. It's outlining the island itself and the layout of the island. There is no actual physical detail of the surface. It looks like it's mostly designed to have a layout of what's going on underneath the facility, which, by the way, it looks like this fault line is directly underneath you guys coming across this entire facility. Raveny looks like she's just become the villain of the game.
No, it's just, what does Google Maps show us?
Right,
Sure.
I was just thinking that they didn't let Google Earth fly over.
Okay, so you load up Google Maps. Google Maps, unfortunately, because this is not really a residential area, it's heavily digital. So you can see like a really choppy version of the island itself. But you only see from Google Maps, you only basically see the three structures. What's up, Aki?
Is this facility surrounded essentially by tropical jungle kind of a deal? Like, is it sort of stuck in the middle of nowhere in this little island? Like, is it separated enough from the actual
civilization, as it were? Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's far enough away.
So I think that as we are approaching this, and like these ideas are kind of getting tossed around of like, let's see where we can find the satellite. This guy over here is going to start doing some reconnaissance up in the tree line and stuff like that. See if they can climb up into something and actually like get a bird's eye view of what's going on.
You're the ranger.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to have you do 2 rolls. So first of all, well, no, I'm not going to have you roll stealth because you're not moving around inside the facility. So you can move around relatively easily out here. And man, Daff, it's like this is what you were meant to do. As you are moving around in the dark by yourself and scouting things out and feeling the humidity just settle on your skin, and you're feeling those droplets of sweat starting to form from just like that oppressive lack of air like coursing through this area, and like the heat because of the temperature around here has risen significantly. This just takes you back. This is like the casino was fine, but this is where you shine. You can roll survival here if you like. Get a lay of the land.
That's a 12.
A 12? Okay, that's fine. All right, so Daff informs you they're going to go off and do a quick scout, give you the lay of the land, find out exactly what you're up against here. Takes about 30 minutes, and only 30 minutes, which, by the way, I want to emphasize is impressive as fuck considering the situation. But Daff, what you do stalking around in the wilds that are around this chain link fence and facility, this facility mostly is, as you say, in the middle of nowhere. It's backed up against it's a few miles away from one of the shorelines of the island, where it's just, of course, as typical of most gorgeous Japanese islands, rocky as hell with cliff faces that are quite lovely for photographing. But for the most part, behind this facility, not a lot going on. Doing a full round, you can already get a sense of what y'all are looking at here. It's also notably easy to move through the wild as you're moving around the facility. A 30-minute circuit doesn't even require you to stealth, because about 15 minutes into you moving through, you begin to realize this facility has pathetic exterior security systems. It's probably all inside, which isn't going to stand much of a chance if Machete gets her hands on them. As you move around the other side of the facility, it starts becoming quite clear to you and your expert trained eye that this place is completely not prepared for an infiltration unit of your caliber. It's kind of a pick your poison. Any of these 3 buildings, you could initiate a plan to execute some kind of infiltration scheme. The office building probably has a lot of the administration systems. Machete's thought about going into the generator facility is also probably one of the better choices to make. It would give you full access to some of the power that's going on in there. It would give you access to the power that's being distributed not only to the facility but to the entire island. The mystery is you know which one is the office facility. It's the one up front where it has reception and a security guard at the front desk. Or I'm sorry, there's nobody there. There's it's closed right now. So there is the office facility, which is probably going to have any of the administration access from what you can tell, Daff. Then you have the generator building, as I said before. There's also the 3rd building, which is not quite clear what the 3rd building really is. But according to the information that was given to you, it looks like a larger industrial shed, but it's similar. But you're not exactly sure what the 3rd building is.
So Daff circles back, and as they do, they're kind of just shaking their heads like,
Good.
I mean, no, it's actually a little bit pathetic how bad their external security systems are. Like, we could probably just clip them with a wire clipper and walk right the fuck in and nobody would be the wiser. And I think that your idea to hit up the generator building is probably going to be our soundest idea, Machete. Of course, there's the front building that's, offices and whatever, but there's the building in the back that I'm not entirely sure what's going on, which means it's probably where all the bad juju is.
How big was it?
It was sizable. At least as big as the generator room, right? Yeah, it's
which is sizable too. But
Yeah.
it's about the same size as the generator room.
yeah,
Well, if I
it's-
can get into the generator room, we can cause havoc, as Pat said, in order to get a contractor out, which probably could give us easy access to the back building regardless.
yeah.
And presumably, if the generator room's powering that back building and it ain't powering itself, securing the generator room will be the best chance of preventing any kind of meltdown that could cause fault. It's a lot harder to do a mischief if you have no power.
Yeah.
By the way, there's one piece of information I should give you to Daff, is that the generator, along with the rest of these buildings, look like they have a key card swipe system for security going in and out of the buildings.
Yeah, the one thing we don't have is a way in that doesn't set off some sort of alarm. So, that security guard that's up here in the front?
Do I? Are they still around? Are they still going to be around in 5 minutes, staff?
I mean, and Daff is gone.
I have a stopwatch. I click it. At this point, we do these runs for time.
So what are y'all doing? How are you getting inside?
Daff's going to go take out a security guard.
So how are you getting into the fence?
I'll stealth.
All right, so you're going to climb the fence?
Wait, hold on. You got something for me,
Slam on the brake.
Gray?
Yeah, I think you just get a quick, be careful as you slip off.
Yeah, Daff just winks and heads off.
All right. Make an athletics check as you get to the fence. Tell me what you get.
Sweet.
That reaction is either very good or very bad.
I rolled a natural 1.
No! Very
Okay, this is good. We
bad.
can work with this. We can actually work with this. We've got
Do we get our chase now?
I know.
Guard's gonna go investigate now.
Patch is like, please let the security guard just chase me, guys. Please, just let this happen. Just let the security guard chase me. Okay. Basically, what happens, Daft, as you're scaling the fence is easy enough to scale. It's an 11-foot chain link fence, but as you approach it, it becomes clear that it's not electrified or anything like that. There's no nefarious like high-tech security system here. It's just a please don't enter. There's not even any barbed wire on top of this fence. There's really not a lot except for just to scale and throw yourself over. And for that one brief moment, you do something you have not done since you've started working for Streetworks. Since you've gone independent and become an agent for Streetworks, you have doubled down and pursued like extra hard. It's like, let me put it this way. It's like going fully independent. Now you're your own boss. And so it's up to you how you succeed or fail. And as a result, you in that mindset really latched on to doing your best at all times, no matter what. The ease in which it is to get into this place kind of lulled you into making an amateur mistake. Because this facility is just a cakewalk. No problemo. And you don't take any time at all scaling the top of that fence and landing on the other side right into the beam of a security guard's flashlight who stares at you for a split second before shouting.
Yeah, I'm going to punch him.
And reaching, well, you're going to have to clear the distance. So he reaches up for that radio.
Mhm.
And now this is going to be an initiative roll.
Cool. No problem.
So we are finally getting into some combat here in Spy Game. So roll initiative, and I so used to playing Cypher System, I'm not used to rolling. All right. So tell me what you get.
That's a 17.
You're actually 17?
Uh-huh.
Well, you beat him by 14, so you're going to go first.
Sure. All right. So, first thing that's happening is I am basically going to send an elbow into his solar plexus to like just cut that vocal ability right off.
Here's what I'm going to give you is because of the distance between the two of you.
Yeah. How far is he from me?
He is about, well, actually, you can clear 30 feet and around.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you dash over to him. Yeah, you'll get an attack here. So go ahead and throw your elbow. So make your attack roll.
Okay.
Tell me what you get.
That is going to be a 17.
That's a hit.
Cool. And it's only 1 bludgeoning damage, but I'm just trying to like basically disable his ability to speak.
Yes, absolutely. All right. The three of you, you see that shadowy form top over the fence, and then a few seconds later, you hear the shouting of the security guard, and then you see the figure of Daff running right up to him in that beam of light, and an elbow strike him across the face. It's his turn. He's going to throw a punch back at you.
Sure.
What's your AC?
It's 14.
14. He's going to miss. Throws a wide haymaker that you saw coming 3 miles away.
Using the momentum of that movement, they're gonna sweep down and swing the leg under and like knock him to the floor, or at least try to.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 18, so
that's
going to be 20 altogether.
20. That's definitely going to hit. Roll damage.
It's just anytime I use an unarmed strike, it's just 1 damage.
It's just 1 point? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Let's see. You were going for a knockdown roll?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll say he's got to spend his next action getting up from prone. So we'll say you sweep his leg. You
Cool.
went full Cobra Kai on him and basically drop him down into the mud. He impacts on the side of the mud and immediately just drops the flashlight, pulls something from his belt, and he's going to try to attack you.
Okay, cool.
Oh, what's your AC?
14.
But he actually gets you.
Cool.
You take 4 points of damage,
Okay.
and you are stunned. You
Cool.
all see the telltale signs of pop, and the electricity that's flowing through the taser that just hit you touches the rain, and you can all hear the static sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being stunned means I lose my next turn, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This security guard just freaking tased you.
Cool.
I was gonna look over at Gray and go, medic.
Security guard stands up, gets on the radio.
All right. That was his action.
Yep.
All right. Then my next action is pulling out my machete.
Okay. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think that at this point it's not, I don't want to kill him or harm him. It is, I'm going to basically grab him by the shirt and pull him close, like put the machete right up to his neck. Like, if you want to continue to breathe, you will stand down right
Okay.
now.
So we're gonna do a grapple check here then.
Okay.
So roll a d20. Roll your die. Tell me what you get.
Fucking hell, natural one. My
He
dice
sees
ate
you
me.
getting up. He sees you getting up and tries to kick you off, but actually the mud is so slippery that he kicks a little wide and misses you. But he is talking into the radio now rapidly. You all are watching this fall apart right in front of you. What do you
It's
do?
my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point it's they kind of toss the machete aside and come around behind him and just start to try and choke him out. Like,
Okay.
just gonna put
Roll
you
your
to sleep.
And I
Sleep
think
time.
because of that natural one, I think the flavoring for us watching is like we're kind of watching from afar, being like, does it look like they're having fun? I think they're having fun. I think they're doing
Yeah,
this-
no, I've got my stopwatch going. I'm still timing. Like,
Yeah.
That was
it's taking
only an 8.
An 8 with your modifier?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, he manages to slip free from your grasp. As soon as you've been around, he sees what you're doing, and as your arm goes around him, he slips around. It's that fucking rain, Daff. He slips right out of the sleeve of your shirt and pushes you away and pulls up the taser again.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at the stopwatch and go, wow, it's never taken them this long.
Jesus Christ. What's your AC?
14.
All right, you're getting hit.
Cool.
You take 4 points of damage.
Cool.
Now you're going to make a Constitution saving throw,
Okay. I'll do it.
which I should have had you do the first time around. So why don't we say you auto pass on this?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I should have actually had you roll that instead of just stunning you right off the bat.
No problem, no
we'll,
problem.
we'll say you make the con save here
Okay.
as you all hear the telltale signs of the taser going off again. And it's worth noting that Daff has been tased twice and is still fighting.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that Daff
this
is still
point-
taking it.
I look up, look to Gray, look to Michelle.
Oh, fucking hell.
Did they bring a taser?
All right, the next
Oh,
Is
no.
Maybe
are
we
they
should
being
help.
Oh no, we need to get there immediately.
and the
And,
discovery.
and now we start approaching.
How are y'all
Right.
getting over the fence?
How I have tools.
You have Phoenix,
with
don't
me.
you?
I do. So
We know how you're getting over the fence.
we do.
All right. What's up, Aki?
I tried to get him again, and I got a 15 this time.
Okay, that's going to get him.
Cool.
So one more
I'm
point of
just-
damage.
Yeah, and I'm just at this point just really trying to put him to sleep.
Oh, is this the grapple?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can
So if
grapple
I'm using
him.
my athletics instead, then it's just a 14.
So he is going to attempt. Yeah, you're going to get. No, it's a straight up attack. So you're going to try to. All right. So now we're into the grapple rules, which are just so much fun in 5e. So I'm going to have you. 1 sec. I'm going to have you roll because you've got him grappled, and it sounds to me like you're trying to restrain him.
Yes. I want to knock him out. I want him to go sleep.
With an arm strike, you can. Okay.
Our teacher would be so proud.
I'm just totally picturing like Tony Stark going, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. It's just like, okay. So he's grappled now. So here's the thing about grapple is when you want to grapple or wrestle them, you can use an attack action to make a special melee attack, which is a grapple. If you're able to make multiple attacks, blah, 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 but you're not. The target of your grapple must be within your reach, which they are. Using one free hand, you try to seize the target by a grapple check. By making a grapple check instead of an attack roll, you roll strength athletics check instead, contested by the strength and dexterity of. Okay. So, and what did you roll?
I rolled a 13 if we're using my strength. Not a 13, a 14.
Okay, you were going to grapple him then.
Cool.
Contested by the target's strength athletics or dex acrobatics. If you succeed, you grab hold of the opponent. They are subject to the grappled condition. The condition specifies that things that end it in the grappled condition. Okay, so a grappled person's speed becomes 0. They cannot benefit from any bonus to their speed. The condition ends when the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled person from reach, and so on and so forth. So you basically have a hold of him. If you're going to try to sleeper hold him, that's going to be next round.
Cool. All
right. So what are the rest of y'all doing? You're going to try to clear the fence?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? This is the karmic balance. Y'all had such an amazing first act. You didn't roll a single nat 1, to my recollection. So
I rolled 1 nat 1, I believe.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right.
I've now rolled
I already
2.
have 2 in this game. So
okay, so I'm going to need everybody except Patch to make an athletics check to clear the fence.
Uh-oh.
Right, the athletics check is rolling in bloody mud.
11.
14.
What? Okay, so actually the two of you get over the fence.
Great.
Yes, it's raining, it is muddy, it is dark, but I wasn't penalizing y'all. It's a chain link fence. It's actually, if you've ever climbed a chain link fence, really doesn't matter what it's like outside. Put your fingers in the hole, pull yourself up, and you're good to go.
Great.
So it takes you a few moments, but that's what you're doing this round. But I would like Patch to describe how Patch clears the fence. Because Patch is using a gadget that I built.
Yep. So I roll up, keep about 10 feet from me and the fence, and bam my hand against the front of Phoenix's wheel frame. It engages a grapple hook up to one of the jungle tree branches on the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
The grapple retracts, pulls me up into the air, and I land on the other side of the fence, the suspension in the wheels absorbing the shock. Grapple retracts back into the frame.
I still have a magical piece of cardboard. I pulled that out. 9.6.
Phoenix's wheels, there's a slight extension on the end, like they're getting ready to absorb the impact. And as soon as you and Phoenix touch down, the only indication you could get a full-on stealth roll here because of that suspension. As you impact, the only thing that indicates that you were even there is the sound of water splashing as you touch down on the other side.
Superhero landing, Wheeler edition.
And the two of you reach the other side of the fence and find Patch waiting for y'all. That's your round. It's a new round. You've got this guy grappled. It's going to be it's your action first. So if you're restraining him.
Yeah, if we're still using my strength as the modifier for this, then it's a 15.
Okay. He's going to try to resist. I rolled an 8. He is not resisting this. He's struggling desperately to get out of your sleeper hold. He is not moving. It's not an attack per these. Okay. So he is If you've restrained the enemy, which you have, you're holding, you can attempt to take a weapon that they're holding as an action. So you could actually pull the taser.
I will take the taser and I will use that to my yes. I will do that.
All right, go ahead.
Sleep, stop.
You pull the taser off the belt.
Uh-huh.
I'm not.
I don't have multiple attacks, so I don't think I can attack him. I think I've done all I can do, but I am at least going to take it away from him. So
Okay.
He can't
You
tase
pull
me
the taser
anymore.
off them. At this point, the rest of you can approach.
Great. I think that for Gray, what she wants to do, so in her med kit, she has, or her med pack, she has a stethoscope. And so she'd like to pull out that stethoscope right now and like keep predicting like Daph's movements, but just like as Daph is like, you know, grappling, this person almost like come up behind them and just like check their heart rate because she thinks that like, you know, Daph got tasered and Daph, you know, got tasered. And so just make sure Daph is
You're
doing
gonna do a medical exam while Daph is in combat with this guy. Okay, so you
guys.
You watch as Gray comes up, just puts on this stethoscope, almost comically just like leans in, just waits, and then leans in, and you put the stethoscope between the shoulder blades. I mean, it's not easy. You're not hearing too much, Daph, because there's struggled movement through clothes during the rain, and like. But you, as you're like, okay, well, I can't hear much, but I'm pretty sure they're okay. What are the two of you doing?
As I roll up for a free action, I want to say to myself, the situation's been contained so that I won't be choppy when I then repeat that over the walkie-talkie because I'm giving my ear thing a chance to translate it for me. I don't speak Japanese, but you said at the top, we have those things. It'll sound a little clunky if we don't already say it to ourselves. Like if we don't get the translation, we just read it at our ear like Cyrano and Christian. So I do that. And then I'm going to attempt to get a hold of a walkie-talkie so that we can ideally call off anyone who is incoming.
We're basically surrounding this poor fellow.
So what specifically are you going to say to try to call off any potential reinforcements that might come out to find out why he's called them?
Well, I think first I have to disarm the walkie-talkie, yeah?
Yes, but tell me what you don't have to disarm the walkie-talkie because he's restrained right now. You can literally take whatever you want off of him. Because
love that.
Yeah, because Daph has this guy. He's not getting out right now. So what specifically do you want to say? And then once you tell me what you're going to say, we're going to make a deception check.
Yep, the situation is contained. Stand down, no backup required. I'll report soon.
Can I give you a piece of advice?
Please.
I might go with false alarm so that there was never a situation to contain, so that they don't come out anyway.
I thought of that, but I also thought, I don't know exactly what he said.
It's true.
So I don't know what kind of, like, whether or not it'd be plausible for it to be false alarm. If I say it's contained, then that means
I follow your rationale.
They don't need to be suspicious.
Okay, I follow you now. Yeah, all right, sounds good. Then I would say, yeah, this is going to be a deception check. I'm going to set the difficulty of this. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficulty. I'm going to set the DC at 15.
Charisma's not my strong suit, kiddos. How do you feel about a 7?
You flub one of the words.
Yep, I do.
It happens just as you say it. In Japanese, you're saying situation is contained, but you end up saying what sounds a little bit like gibberish, something contained.
We went from the best spies to the worst spies in 24 hours. Like, what just
linear probability for you.
I think you see Daph's face fall as that happens. Just, oh no.
I think you're in the middle of grappling someone, but it's the Japanese that really gets to you.
How do you say situation in Japanese? Is it jokyo?
It depends on the context, I think.
Yeah,
like,
and how you're
probably,
delivering
yeah.
the sentence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because there's some very formal words for it and some non-formal words.
Oh,
for
I
it.
just
Right.
Google translated the heck out of myself. This was
Oh, God.
yeah,
technically correct, which is the
It
worst
just
kind of correct.
sounds stilted and a little forced. And when you say it across the radio, the moment you click off, Patch, you look up at everybody with this just like feeling of, ain't no way they fucking fell for that. You kind of glance, you kind of make eye contact with Gray when this kind of like immediate, because they're the ones that immediately in front of you, and this defeated look on Patch's face.
I should stick to French.
Okay. She tries to
It
give
is at that point that all four of you are watching the door to the generator facility get thrown open.
Oh, I was gonna try and do something, but
What would you like to do? I can
I
give you
was
an
like-
action.
I was going to while all of this was happening, while Patch was grabbing the walkie-talkie, everything like that, I was gonna swipe his security card. Because
Well,
that's the only thing Machete knows like they can do. It's like, oh, okay. Let me
okay, so here's how this would time out.
Thank
This would time out with you. First of all, you have full access to grab the security card because you can take whatever you want off this guy right now because of DAF. So, and we'll say there have been two actions so far. There have been getting the taser gun off of him, and then lot of y'all running up to him and interacting. And then the next round, because of the time that's passed, you're going to get company. So you're going to get basically two things to do. You can get the security guard's security key, and you can access one of the doors that's close by. Right now, the closest doors are the office building door and the generator room. And I'm going to change where these guards come out so you don't have previous knowledge of what's going to happen. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to leave that up to a roll.
Okay.
1d3 check here. So what would you like to do then, Machete?
Well, due to the fact that we don't know where these guards are coming from, I will my first instinct is to get to the generator room so I can start shutting power off, because I feel like if we can shut off their power or communications or something like that, we get the upper hand when our hand is no longer a hand right now.
Okay. So you're dash over to the security room. He has stopped struggling at this point now that he realizes he's outnumbered. He stops for a second and just holds himself there. Doesn't move. You get up to the door. I'm going to roll a d4 now. Let's see.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see where the reinforcements come from. Mystery building is 1. Office building is 2. Generator is 3. And I roll a 3.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
So basically the way this works is you charge up in the rain, Machete. You pull out that security card, and as you're about to swipe, you see it turn green. And there's a split second where you're like, huh. And the door goes, throws open, and you see 5 Japanese security guards rush forward and stop and stare at you for a split second. And there's that precious moment where for 1 second, there's no combat. And a lot of you are looking at each other like, and then one of them shouts something in Japanese, and you're in rolling initiative.
I go, but before any of that happens, during that 1 second, I go to my always like get out of jail free card phrase. Always like, do you know where the bathroom is? Like as if I'm always lost trying to find the bathroom. Anytime I walk into a highly secure building, I'm like, I was just looking for the bathroom.
In heavily
I don't think it'll
trained
work.
American accented Japanese or British accented Japanese,
Yeah.
you ask them very politely where the bathroom is.
Do any of you gents know where the ladies' room is?
And everyone roll initiative.
That
That
is my
didn't work?
third natural one.
Oh my gosh, Aki, get rid of that die
What
now.
is going on?
It's all different dice. All of them different dice.
Oh,
What-
man.
What is happening?
No, no.
Okay.
But that was a 2 on my initiative. 2.
I rolled a
I
3.
got to tell you something.
Oh no.
Just real quick. We have been playing together for roughly, most of us here have been playing together for a total of about 3.5 years now. Is that accurate? Since Doctor Who? And then some of us since Shielded Tomorrow and whatnot. Every time we have played a game together, any of us, we've played RPGs that give players the power to take a little bit of the narrative and change their fate. We're now playing a D20 like 5e game where your role is your role, and I'm seeing the chaos ensue. And I have to say, this actually fits all of you quite well. Like the pure chaos that you are unleashing on this mission is it fits you. It works. Yeah, le honk. All right. So
I got a 12.
all right, yeah. Let me know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll initiative for the guards here. So
I got a 3, and I think that the narrative reason that it took Gray so long to like get into initiative is because she's moved from Daff to the guy that Daff is grappling, and is like crouched next to him, checking his heartbeat, and just is like shaking her head to Daff. Is like, you gotta tase him harder. I think it's
tease him harder.
And so it takes
Tease
her
him harder.
around, and that's her 3 on initiative.
Sam?
Diagnosis, tase him harder.
Tase him
Sam?
harder.
Yeah,
I got a
That's-
17.
that's a phrase if ever I heard one. All right, you got a 17.
Yeah.
Okay, and Daff, you got a 1.
Technically a 2, but yes.
Okay, technically a 2. All right, Patch, you get to go first.
Yeah. I should really pull up what the deal is with burst fire on my submachine gun. Because that seems like a useful thing at the moment,
Yeah.
particularly because one of my gadgets is a suppressor. So I'm going
Okay.
to be able to do this without
Got it.
the entire facility now being aware that guns are introduced.
You can spray in a 10-foot square with burst bullet fire within range. Each character, friendly or enemy, needs to make a DC 15 dex save or suffer damage as normal. The attack will take up 2 attacks of ammunition. So you can do it, but you're definitely going to force Machete to roll a DC 15 reflex check or get shot.
So I'm not doing that, to be clear.
Oh,
You can hold
well,
your
I was
action.
gonna say, what I would do is like, don't even know where the ladies' room is, and then duck and roll, knowing that.
That
You can
I
hold
am
your
good
action
for. So
and-
yeah, I don't think I have any particular
Or just
bonus actions here. So I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll hold my action until that's cleared, and then pew pew.
So you're basically shouting at. Are you going to? You're totally shouting at Machete to get out of the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying, comms, clear the guards.
Okay. The next on the initiative roll from 17 is the guards. They rolled a 15. All right. As the head shakes continue. Yep.
It was going so well.
It was going so well, y'all. It was going
We should stick to
so
blackjack.
well.
We went from like James Bond to Mr. Bean so
You went
fast.
to James Bond to Streampunks really quick.
We did just a reverse Casino Royale. Like, he ends up all slick and cool, but like starts off very like gritty and like barrels through a wall.
I wonder if we'd get sued if we named this 2-part mission Reverse Casino Royale.
The spell Casino Royale in reverse.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad idea. All right. Jake is Googling that as we speak. Will we get sued if... all right. So, yeah, the guards are going to rush forward. There are 5 of them as they're dashing forward. No, I'm sorry. There's 4. There's 4 of them. All right. What's your AC? What's your AC, Machete?
12.
Okay. Okay. Only one of them gets you. You find yourself in a situation that's very similar to Neo and Agent Smith, where you're being swarmed by people trying to take you down in one go. You are the only person that they see. You are clearly not supposed to be here, and they rush you the moment they see you. They all try to grapple onto you, but you've been shouted at to get down, so you were already in the motion of like ducking low and trying to dash out of there. But one of them has pulled a taser and tries to tase you. What's your AC again? 12?
12.
He gets a +2 to hit. That's going to hit you. I need you to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
16.
You're not going to get stunned, but you are going to take 4 points of damage as you feel a taser's electricity course through you just as you dash out of the way.
Ow!
Your action you're going to have to use to get out of there. On your action, you're going to have to use a disengage action and move away from them so that Patch is going to have... Yeah, because right now they all tried to attack you, so they're literally clustered together. They're all going to be in the line of fire.
Great.
All right, so then after them is actually you, Machete. So you're going to disengage and do the thing?
Do the thing.
All right, there's this fatigue in your muscles from the taser. And there's still that sort of burning pain as you dash forward. It's like, ow, 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 ow,
ow.
It's done like that since basic training, and man, you hated it then too. As you dash forward, blood splashing underneath your booted feet as you dash out of the way, letting that fatigue, letting your body weight kind of leaning forward and kind of propel you away from them. They're shouting at you, and the next one up, that is actually going to be Patch because they held their action, and the trigger was you getting out of their way.
I need a lolly. I'm running to Gray.
All right, Patch. What are you doing?
I'm opening up with the submachine gun and burst fire. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, 17 hits.
Love that for me. Then I do 11 damage, and
All
they
right.
need to make DC 15.
You actually don't need to make an attack with burst fire. It's a DC 15 save. You just declare you're doing burst fire, and they have to make a saving throw DC 15 or take the damage because you're basically spray and pray. There's no way. They're going to have to... Not a single one makes it. So we'll go ahead and roll damage.
I rolled damage. It was 11. I got a 9 on a D10.
11 points of damage total?
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, keeping in mind that you were given full authorization, the fact that there are 7,000 people's lives at risk, and you know that these security guards are working for somebody who is about to end all of those lives, Patch, you make the grim determination. You don't have fucking time for this, and now everyone knows you're here. You're on the clock. You don't know what you're up against, and you have to make the hard call. You pull that gun up and unleash burst fire, and you kill all 4 of them in burst fire. There's an explosion of gunfire. You see the muzzle flare from the darkness, and all 4 of the security guards drop. And it's over. The security guard that you're clutching relaxes and tenses kind of and then relaxes and puts his hands up, stops struggling altogether when he sees that.
In Japanese, Daff just says, "You have a chance to get out of here. And we're going to give you that chance if you tell us exactly what's in that building."
It takes him a moment to regain his composure, but there's a quick nod, and he says, the mining lab.
You local?
Yes.
Go home. And they kind of push him off.
He looks back at all of you for a second and runs right out the front gate. Just dashes out the front gate.
All right. Let's get inside.
Which building are you all going into first? Because, Machete, you had your heart set on the generator room, which is now free of guards.
I would say the generator room for me, so I can get access to the power of the entire, really the entire island,
Okay.
but at least the vicinity to where, in fact, if you want me to be in there, I don't know, would there be a way to get into the cameras and stuff through there too? And we could do what we did last time where I was just
the camera's not going to be in the generator room. That's going to be in the central building, the office
But you
building.
can turn the cameras off.
But wait, could
Cameras
I
need power.
the power.
in there to where my tablet would have access to the generator room, or no matter where I went?
So I'll tell you this, the generator room is going to be like any kind of generator room. There's not really a computer system that's operating this thing. It's a giant power generator.
Oh.
So coming in here is literally just, once you have access to this place, you can just walk up and shut the whole thing down if you want. It's it's getting in. You can destroy the generator. You can shut it down. You can hack it. However you want to do this is But I mean, there's not the generator room itself is the most simplistic building.
Yeah.
In this, it's going to be pretty easy to manage.
If we can put a remote control in it, then we can keep Machete with us and move on to the mining lab and have the option to power it down once we understand from that lab how everything works. We don't want to risk powering down before we understand what that would do. That could power down coolant systems, which could cause a runaway.
Yeah.
So then you can do that.
Yeah. I could just hack it real quick and just keep like a kill switch on me.
Okay, so that is going to require some hacking then, because if you're trying to get a kill switch installed onto this thing, that's basically hacking into the thing and doing like, that's going to be, let's see, it's there's actually no role to access the generator.
Great.
So it's an easy thing of delivering essential, like a remote tool that you can install onto the operating system that's running the generator, so that you'll have access to just shut everything down if you need to. But I am going to rule that is going to take some time. So what is everyone else doing? I'm going to say that's going to take about 10 minutes.
I think that, for me,
sorry,
it's
5 minutes. I'll cut that in half. What's
for me,
that?
it's like reconnaissance and surveillance, just making sure that we got no other eyes on us, that it's just these security guards that
Absolutely.
we have to worry
I'll I'd be down to put that up with you, Daph.
Okay.
How much are you injured? Because you got tased a couple of times there.
Yeah, I'm still over half my hit points.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
I would suggest
a medic in the group, so I want to make sure that everybody has access to the medic.
Yeah, I think that kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I would suggest dragging the bodies inside the generator room so they're not just for dead guards outside the gate for anyone to see.
I am going to give you all this. There's nothing about this mission that's stealth anymore. Guards were alerted, and seconds later, the sounds of gunfire were probably heard across the facility.
Yeah, this is chop chop. We gotta go.
This is like, there's no more. Y'all are blown. There's no more sneaking.
Does my suppressor not cover the long range?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. You had a suppressor on it.
Yeah.
Does the suppressor have a specific mechanic?
Yes, cannot be heard within long range, and within its short range, a DC 15 perception check is required to detect the shot's noise.
You're good. I'm determining it's raining. They're inside the building. The only time they would have heard anything is if maybe you had rolled a 1. I would have said they heard it on the radio, but you rolled really well. There was no. So then I would say there's a 50-50 chance that you all have like a small window of time between the guards being dispatched and waiting for the guards to return.
So I think that in that case, yes, Patch will first pull the bodies inside and out of sight before they start doing like perimeter checks to make sure nobody else is incoming.
So then why don't we say this, because we're kind of entering into an ambiguous part of like a length of time. So we're going to say the time that it takes the lot of you to drag the bodies back into the generator room, that's going to be the time that you need to get a remote system going here for the generator. As I said, the generator itself, the system is actually not encrypted. The generator is, what's that?
Child's play.
Yeah, I mean, this geothermal plant doesn't seem to have a lot of security on the generator itself, so it's easy to access it.
May I maybe make a quick mechanics check to get a sense before we head into the mining lab? I'm looking at the power generation. I know roughly how much power the office building requires, and also these kind of breakers will typically be labeled. What can I get from looking at the bare bones label on the generator's power output that's involved scope of what's going on in the mining lab, and if maybe some of it is labeled?
Some of it is labeled. It's all in Japanese. I'm going to need you to, why don't you I'll have you make a perception check here.
Can I assist?
I do have augmented reality glasses as a gadget that I have as well, so I could overlay a translation from it.
There's only been one RPG that we have played where we don't have AR glasses. Or like, have you noticed that? So go ahead and make a roll on that, and you're going to get an assist from Daff. So I'm going to set the DC at this at 12.
All right. That's what kind of checks was it? Mechanics, I said. That's a 14.
Oh yeah, it would have been. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, it would have been a mechanics check and not a perception check. A 14 works. Okay, so it's a quick glance around. First of all, the generator room itself is a very large, spacious area that is just filled with power cables going throughout it. You do see the large generator at the back of the room. It is incredibly large. It looks like it probably powers more than just this facility. And indeed, as you're glancing around, Patch, you start doing the math in your head, reading what you can, and with Daff's help, you're able to suss out that this generator is powering the entire island. And if it goes down, the island goes down. This is the island's power source for 7,000 residents that are living here. What else did you want to know?
Do we learn anything about the draw from the mining lab or any particular things that are set on separate breakers, for instance?
The mining lab is drawing the most power, but that's not surprising. Because the other building is the office building.
Right.
So they're just powering desktop computers, supposedly, and whatever else is going on the side there. And then but the largest draw of power is obviously the 7,000 residents and the town nearby.
Okay. The mining lab is drawing a mining amount of power and not a fault line destruction amount of you feel me on this?
I do, but how well versed do you think you would be in geothermic science? And you can make a roll here if you would like to try, but you're basically trying to deduce okay, how much is too much power for a facility to be using for one of their buildings that could be an operation that's beyond the capacity of what they normally do? I'm
happy to make a roll. I'm happy to say I don't know.
Make a roll. You can always make a roll. I would say make a DC 15 check.
Okay.
And
you want to call this mechanics again?
Roll if you'd like. Or you can say that this is, if you have any skills that might apply here, you can make a pitch.
This feels like mechanics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's not athletics, so pretty much other than that, they're mostly the same modifiers, unless I'm talking to people. It's even lower if I'm talking to cute girls. You know what? We'll know more when we get to the mining lab.
Okay. You look at the powers situation, and the way the power is being distributed across the facility, Patch, you're looking at this going because here's the problem is it doesn't look you're not seeing anything nefariously obvious taking place. It doesn't look like there's an extraordinary amount of draw of power energy that's taking place in that facility, at least not that you can tell. You take a look at it for a few moments and you're like, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Unfortunately, nothing here is labeled death beam. If we want to find an earthquake death beam, we got to go to the mining lab. That's where they keep their all their death beam related information.
Machete just wants to specify that the kill switch is not for the island. I do not want to shut the entire island off.
Unfortunately.
No.
You kill one, you kill the other.
Crap.
This power generator is not giving you an option. If you cut energy to the research lab specifically, it also kills power to the rest of the island.
I mean, it's raining. They could have a power outage for a few minutes.
Like Eugene is just an awful person, and we've got to figure out. Actually, we have a way to sort of report back to to headquarters and stuff like that. Kind of.
You can, but you're in the field. They're not going to be any help to you until this mission is done.
Right. I think that the one thing that Daff just wants to do is to make sure that they are aware that, hey, once we do this, we need to make sure we send a team in to fix it.
So I'll go ahead and tell you, because you've had 4 successful missions with Streetworks, that's standard issue.
Cool.
Y'all have been given full authorization to do whatever the hell it is you need to do. Streetworks will worry about the cleanup afterwards.
Sweet. Cool. Then I think that if at any point...
and to be honest, too, let me go ahead and just feed you this, too, because you would absolutely know this, Daff.
Sure.
You guys are technically under commission by the Japanese Ministry of Defense. I think if they found you know that if they found out, yeah, we killed power to your entire island to save 7,000 lives, they'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I think they'd look over at Machete and go, "Don't worry about it. This is all standard practice. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine." You're doing a good job, kid.
I just don't want to cut power to the hospital.
I think
Those
I
always
think-
have backup generators. Always, 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 always.
That's true.
We'll be good.
All right.
We got this. Gray, you okay? Good move out?
I'm good. I'm just really proud of you all.
Gray's got a lollipop for every single one of you when this is done.
Absolutely.
No, I want one now. I got tasered.
actually,
You can have-
All right,
a
come on,
little
Veruca
bit,
Salt. Let's
a
go.
little bit of
Let's move
sugar
out.
might help.
So what are y'all doing?
I think we're moving out toward the mining to secure the mining lab now.
Mine-
We've got the tap on the generator as an option. We've laid it in if we have to. But now we're gonna try to get the mining lab.
Okay.
Actually, I have a question. Do we want to hit
Yeah.
the office first so that we can take out the cameras? Because there might be cameras in the lab.
We don't know how on the clock we are. I want to go for the objective. I think we can
Also-
always get those specific cameras.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
It's true. If y'all were going the stealthy approach, the office would have been the way to go.
Yep. Hey, we all have those days. Don't worry about
Hey,
it.
I mean,
Oh, dang! I forgot. I let the stopwatch run. I'm so sorry, Dad.
you didn't catch the time.
Don't
We'll
worry, it
get it
wasn't
on-
my best work anyway.
Hey, they can't all be Peru.
The mining lab is actually a pretty blunt force styled building. You were expecting something a little on the intricate side moving into that lab itself. But as you enter the lab, going through those doors after swiping the card and the doors being pushed open, you see as you enter, the floor of the mining lab is a large open area with diggers and excavation machinery used to drill deep into the magma chamber below. Hanging above the chamber is a mining drone on a crane, being prepared from a mezzanine for its operation down into the borehole. Overseeing the operation is a glass-fronted mission control complete with console screens and information on the screen, and you all clearly see Jijin inside that control. You see a team of what looks like researchers and scientists at the facility, and you see a familiar-looking gentleman who's dressed in a security outfit standing next to Jijin, who spots all of you. There's 3 security guards in here.
Which way to the loo?
What are y'all doing?
Never gonna work. It never works.
Yeah, I'd like to take a shot at Jijin with my compound bow. Just,
Okay.
I mean,
immediately pull your bow.
if we've been looked at right, like if they've looked directly at us, then
You have that precious moment where you get to tell me what your action is going to take before probably initiative is rolled. If you're going to initiate initiative right now, we do it.
I'm like I
I
said,
think we do
got
it.
caught,
Okay,
so I
you
guess
pull
we
your
gotta
arrow.
do it.
You pull your arrow, Daff. You knock that thing. You pull back the compound bow. I'm going to have everyone roll initiative now. So give me 1 second. Oh man, here we go.
I'm doing my nat 20 dance.
Oh,
So of course I ask where the bathroom is. That's my and I'm just kidding.
that's my action.
That's my go-to action. Never works. They never fall for
At some point, we're gonna have to give you a different line.
it.
Okay.
Whenever humans stop needing bathrooms.
Yeah. Hey.
Fair enough. Some of us want to know where the closest food cart is, but
All right.
love that we're all just kind of probably shouting this at each other as we start shooting.
Yeah.
Definitely those like back to back, kind of like over the shoulder banters. Yep.
All right. Decoy. Let's see. Oh. Okay. All right. Bonnie, what did you roll with your modifier on that natural 20?
22.
You beat her security guard by 1. He rolled a nat 20 as well, but he's only got a +1 on him.
Ha!
So
Take that.
22. All right, Gray, what'd you roll?
I rolled a let's see, +1, so that's a 12.
Okay, cool. And Daff?
5.
5. And Patch?
21.
21.
Ooh.
Roll again, if you would, please. Tell me what you get.
15.
Okay, so you're going to go after. All right. You got the first go here, Machete. You see, eye contact has been made. I will tell you that Jijin looked like she was in a fury, like shouting at the people at the consoles when she spotted all of you. You've got an action. You're at the top of the round. What are you doing?
I'm going to do a quick scan of the room to see the nearest important looking console that I can make a dash for.
The most
Because
important looking console?
not important, like, well, the one that's
Yeah, you want to know where you can plug in. Where can you do the most damage as a hacker? Okay, so why don't you make a quick deception check?
Okay, because
And
I
this
am
is
no
actually gonna
use in a fight.
This is actually going to be pretty easy. The DC is going to be 10.
Okay, that is a 16.
Okay, yeah. The nearest important looking thing where you could do damage looks like the mining drone, which is hanging on the crane right now over this pit that's underneath it. It is actually still in its dock, angled down and accessible with where you're at.
So I'm gonna assume with Daff like taking a bow out and like all this other stuff, and I'm sure Patch is is getting ready to like arm Phoenix. I'm just gonna be like, diversion, cover me as best you can, and I'm gonna make a like get as low as possible and just kind of dash my way to the mining drone.
Yeah, that's probably a typo, Aki, for that message that you just sent me. Why don't we treat you?
Because that's happening kind of all over the place in my character sheet. So
Yeah,
it's not
probably
just that.
We can compensate it. No problem.
Cool. I mean, it doesn't really improve my initiative all that much, but yeah.
No biggie. All right, cool. So that's an easy fix. So you, Bonnie, so Machete's running over to the mining drone and saying, "Cover me," and rushing over there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be. I'm pretty small. I'm just gonna as small as possible. Just like do like a mad little like as if, but make it look like I'm fearful. Like I'm scared. I'm gonna go take cover.
Always trying to perform.
I was in college. I did Shakespeare.
So the good news is
Sadly.
because of the first of all the catwalk that you're going to be on, the fact the mining drone is going to be right next to you. I'm going to give you a +2 bonus to your cover. So you're gonna have a little bit of cover up there. It's going to give you a +2 bonus to your AC if they want to try to shoot you.
Okay.
And it'll be up to them if they want to open fire on their own mining drone. So that's your action.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, it's not a typo. Great, cool. All right, good deal. So next up is actually the security. It's actually Jijin's security guy. So you remember him from the casino. He dashes out as his move action, leans out of the console control room. And it looks like he has a light pistol that he pulls, and I'm going to roll here to see who he's going to fire at. I'm guessing he's going to fire at Patch, because Patch is currently holding a submachine gun, and that's the first person he's going to open fire on.
He's going to shoot a cripple.
All right, here we go. What's your AC?
Let's see, that's a 16.
Okay, that's going to be a hit. You're going to take 7 points of piercing damage as a bullet grazes your arm, and you see a spark fly off the back of Phoenix just as he almost plugs you. You see the muzzle flash and the popping sound. At that point, everybody at the consoles, the scientists who are really focused on doing what they've got to do, hear the gunfire, and there's a panic that starts up. Jijin, of course, obviously becoming that much more aware of the situation, she also pulls a small pistol and points it at the scientists and starts shouting at them. They start like getting back into focus mode, but they look terrified right now.
Can you say that damage number one more time?
It was 7 points of damage. There are 3 more security guards in this room that are starting to dash out of the console itself, out of the control room. He is the big threat. All right, so that was his action. It's now your action, Patch.
Yeah, I'm offended. I'm the big threat.
All right, so what are you going to do?
I'm going to grab the rails on either side of the catwalk, use them, pull myself through to propel, start getting some motion, and ideally into a bit of cover, and then take my shot at the second largest, frankly, at the 5th largest threat in the room.
You slide over to the cover and open fire on this guy. He's got a +2 bonus to his AC. So go ahead and make a roll. Tell me what you get.
That's 14 to hit.
14 is exactly what you needed to hit him.
Okay.
So roll damage.
12.
12 points.
Max damage.
No, oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you can see the sparks as your gun opens up. You see the sparks from the side of the doorway, and you see him duck down. You clearly hit him. You're not sure how bad it is, but it's one of those close graze shots. So that's your action. That's 21. The next down is actually the security guards. The security guards are using their action to flee. The 3 security guards that were in here are like, fuck this.
None of them get paid enough for
They
this.
do not get paid enough for whatever is happening right now. But they dash towards what looks like an emergency fire escape. You don't know if that's actually going to take them outside, but it's taking them out of the combat zone. They dash away. You see them run across one of the catwalks one by one. Jijin shouting at them, and she actually opens fire as sort of a narrative flavor, pops off a few shots in anger in their direction. None of the bullets land, and the security guards leave the area. One of the scientists tries to get up from the console, and she turns the gun back on them, and he sits back down. But yeah, the security guards are fucking off. So you just got to deal with these 2 now.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Honestly, it looks like no one really wants to be there.
Gray, you're up. What are you doing?
I would like to pull out, Gray would like to pull out their light pistol as well and take a shot at Jijin.
Okay, through the window?
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
It's worked for me before in games, so maybe it'll work for me again. Great. I got a 16 to hit.
16 is what you needed to hit her through the window.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You got cover. All right, roll damage.
Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, 9 piercing damage.
Okay. Well done. All right. So, yeah, you see the shatter marks of bullet holes appearing in the window as you open one shot off. Bam! You see the glass shatters in that particular area. Yeah. Obviously, it's reinforced because of the fact that it's in a mining facility, but it still does not stop the bullet. And you see her duck down low as there's sparks popping on the consoles behind her. Now, just to give you guys a quick heads up, and for the audience, the way I like to run action sequences like this, including in my fantasy games, is landing hits don't start really showing wounds or damage on your opponents until you start getting them low or they drop to 0, which would indicate a dramatic hit. Do you know what I mean? So right now you've whittled her chances down to avoid being shot, which in the real world drops people, obviously. So the shatter mark, even though I'm not narrating the fact that she's been shot, you basically did damage.
Great. I love it.
And this is inspired largely, by the way, by the old D20 Star Wars system, which used a really brilliant cinematic style system back in the early 2000s of how to do this kind of combat. And I love it. So you see the explosion of sparks and she ducks low. That was a hell of a shot. I give her a +2 bonus AC for being behind that glass. All right. So the next,
Pediatrician got bite.
yeah,
Do no harm, take no shit.
she's actually next up, so she's going to return fire on you. But you are also going to get a +2 because she's shooting through the glass. So what's your AC, Gray?
It's a 13.
13. She rolls a 16. Bam.
Great.
Return fire. 7 points of damage.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
As she returns fire through the glass, and at this point, the glass is broken so much in front of her that I'm going to raise the difficulty for her to shoot out and you to shoot in.
Okay, copy.
Because now the shatter points in the glass that are in this console room are actually making it difficult to spot your target.
So you hear you definitely hear the oof as she gets hit, but I'm wearing an undercover vest, but I think it still did damage.
So we'll say the bullet impacted on the vest and knocked you onto your ass. It just,
Yes,
you're not going to be prone or like, you're not going to take any like penalty for that. But the return fire, you hear the heavy slap sound of a bullet impacting on the vest, and it sends you back. And you have to take a second to be like, I'm okay. Let the team know you are not shot.
I'm fine.
All right. So that was her action, and now it's Daff.
All right, I am going to shoot at her with my arrow.
Okay. It's difficult to spot her now because of the gunshots that are in the window.
Okay.
Tell me what you get.
I rolled an 18,
That hits.
and I did 6 damage.
Okay. Nice. Okay. An arrow disappears into that sheet of glass. You don't know where it landed, but you hear screaming sounds on the other side, angered shouts. It is the top of the round. Top of the round. First up, that is going to be our hacker, Machete.
I'm assuming now I've made it to the mining drone.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna duck behind it and like open up my tablet and just get to work. But first, I pop in a piece of gum because I can't focus without chewing on or sucking on something.
All right.
And I start hacking away.
You immediately see popping up on the screen as you plug into the mining drone. It gives you, not only is it giving you access to the drone itself, but it looks like it's networked through the laboratory. So through the drone, you now have connection to the control room that they're in at the moment.
Excellent.
So it's requesting a password and username to be submitted. So make your check. This
Password
is
1, 2, 3. Okay. It's obviously an infotech.
Infotech
18,
check.
19, 20, 21.
21. Okay.
Modifiers.
1 second.
Username Big Daddy. Password capital P exclamation point. Come on, Big Daddy. Come on, Big Daddy.
I do kind of picture those actual earbuds in Machete's ears. So like all the sound of the fighting fades out, and
Yeah,
it's
like
her
putting in like
personal soundtrack
like
of like
punk
I don't know
rock,
99 Luft balloons or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna say this because you're not actually. I'm reading now. This would have been okay. So I did a little bit of a mistake here. This technically would have been a mechanics check. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a console next to the drone itself that's networked to the control lab that they're shooting into right now.
Mechanics would have been a 19.
Okay.
Well, my modifier's not as good on that one, but it's not, I rolled an 18.
You can do either or. If you want to hack this, I'm going to give you a control console that's next to it that that was vacant. That's networked to the control room.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to do a mechanics check, it's up to you. Either way, it's going to take time to disarm this thing.
Of course, but Big Daddy worked. So
you're going to go. So which route are you going to go? Are you going to go?
I'll go with the hacking. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then you rolled. What was your roll on that info check?
21.
Okay, then roll a d4.
Nope. Oh, bugger. Well, luckily I have more than one. That is a 3.
3 points?
Mhm.
Okay. You have begun hacking. You do 3 points of damage. It's AC 13 to get into the system and to have access to the system. It has 11 hit points. You just did 3 points of damage.
Okay. It's like an extended tap.
You're basically running through all the password lists as you're trying to hack into this thing. All right. That's your action. It's now it's number one's action. He is going to continue opening fire on Patch. He's picked his target, and he's going to try to drop his target.
Yeah. I'm 18
You've got cover,
now
though.
for the +2 cover.
Yeah.
Plus Phoenix, plus my vest, plus...
I roll a 16.
Yeah.
With pistol, he's got a +3 to hit. He's actually going to hit you again. That's another 7 points of damage.
All right. Cool. That... In the same spirit, if the first one grazed off my arm, the second will get me into the vest, which we know how center of gravity works on wheels. So I'll knock back, land onto my arm, use the other arm, grab the reverse wheel to push myself up.
You're back up. It's your action. Who's next? It was you.
That rib for anything.
What's that?
I wasn't using that rib for anything. I'm down to 4, by the way, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to have a mission team medic here. All right.
Yep. I would look like maybe, on a scale of 1 to 18, I'm a 4. So yeah, I'll make my shot.
All right. Go ahead and return fire. Tell me what you get.
Nope.
What'd you get?
That was a 4. No, 6.
Okay, cool. So again, it's that action scene where sparks are flying across the wall as bullets are impacting, and you're hearing the telltale signs of gunfire. That's Patch's round. Next up is going to be that's right. So 21. So the next up would have been the guards. Now it's Gray.
Great. Great. Anyway, so with Patch being down to 4, holy crap. I think that Gray would like to see if there's any just like emergency medicine they can perform on our dear friend Patch.
Sure. Your character sheet should tell you what you can do.
You a little bit. I'm looking at my med pack though right now. I've got vinyl gloves, a face mask, a pen and a notepad, a pen torch, painkillers, vials, petri dishes, swabs, and stethoscope, and a watch. So I think the most useful things here for me are the swabs, and then I would just like to administer emergency.
So if you see under first aid, it says you can tend to the wounded allies during a short rest. Oh, you can't use that right now.
Yeah, I cannot.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, I think I would just like to do the old tear up a shirt, use a rag, try and relieve the pain of these bullet, any wounds that you have suffered so far.
If you
hear me out, crossfade me on some morphine and adrenaline, and I'm good to go, Doc.
Oh no!
Short rest.
If I wasn't using
Killers.
At the end,
I got painkillers and swabs, so we can use.
What we could do here easy though is if you're using the class skill first aid, we can basically what we can say is that Patch, you can spend your hit dice to heal. You can burn a hit die to heal.
Yeah.
So make a first aid check. We'll set the difficulty here at 10.
Perfect. Oh, peace. Okay, so I got a 10 plus a 5, so that's a 15.
Okay, so then go ahead and burn one of your hit dice, Patch.
Copy that, Doc.
She basically puts a
max hit die.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
So that adrenal shot is killed the pain of that broken rib.
Yeah.
It's going to keep you going. Doc gives you the good stuff.
That woke me up. I'm awake now. Whoa, I'm awake. We're shooting. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Glad you're awake. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Okay. That's what I will say is that I know that there is a strict rule of how to do that kind of thing, but the one thing I like about the system is the agility that it has with, if you want to make up a rule in the spot like that, that's fair, it's totally doable. So you basically have been meted back into the fight. How many hit points did you gain back out of curiosity? What was it?
That got me 8 back from my D8 hit
Okay,
die,
yeah,
putting
you
me
are
back from 4 to 12, which
Nice,
is 2/3
nicely
of my total
done.
hit points.
Yay! I was worried Gray wasn't going to be able to do any kind of Gray's Anatomy, and yet here we are. All right, 12. So next up, counting down on that is actually going to be... Oh, it's actually... Jijin is going to open fire. Jijin leans out of the other... Jijin basically takes position next to her old decoy, drops down onto one knee, and opens fire from the position of where she is. So I'm going to... Oh, you know what? Jijin is going to... Hold on one sec. I'm going to roll for this. Let's see if Jijin spots. She does not spot you, Machete. She doesn't see what you're doing. Does not see what you're doing. Instead, she is going to open fire on. She's gonna do what I do in Overwatch. She sees a medic healing one of their big strikers and is gonna go for the medic.
Hands off my mercy, Campbell.
Yeah, here comes the shot. That's a cock
Leave
die.
my girl alone.
The first roll was worse. So, what's your? I'm almost certain I hit you. But what's your AC?
13.
13. I'm giving you a +2 bonus for cover, which dropped, but I rolled a 17. So she's gonna do 7 points of damage as she continues popping open fire and sparks popping around all of you.
Cool. I'm down to 4 now. My turn.
Oh no! Everyone's dying.
You duck
Position,
low.
heal thyself.
You duck low as the gunfire erupts around you.
I'm
Great.
good. I'm good.
All right, next up is Daff.
Yeah, so Daff seeing this woman taking pot shots at their team is going to move to interpose themselves between Jijin and Patch and Gray, and I'm gonna do another arrow.
So here's the layout to give you an idea of what's about to happen, because there's the catwalk that's lining the wall over to the console room itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a drop. It's just sort of like a walkway.
Okay.
Where Patch and Gray are, they're actually behind one of these metal bars, these like safety bars of walking along this, because looking over, when I say there's not a drop, what I mean, it's not like a fatal drop or anything like that. It's like about 10 feet down.
Okay.
But if you look over to your right, what you'll see is that they're kind of behind a console in these metal bars. So they have some cover. If you're going to interpose yourself, here's what I'll tell you. If you move forward, you can nullify their cover bonus, but you too will no longer have a cover bonus. It's up to you. Or you can shoot from where you are.
And
right now they have a +2 bonus to their AC, and so do you.
yeah, if I move over, then I'll mix
If you,
that out.
yeah, because you're essentially like getting an angle, so they have to hide inside the room if they want to avoid you at that point. Because right now they're kind of leaning out, but you would be in a way where for this round they wouldn't have any cover.
I don't mind not having cover myself.
Okay.
As long as it means that my team is okay.
All right. Who are you shooting at?
Raised reaction.
I'm gonna continue shooting at Jijin.
Okay. Make your attack.
That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
And that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Ooh.
I rolled max on the damage die.
Ooh. Ouch. You can hear ET right now. Ouch. Okay. The arrow tears what looks like a portion of her clothing, of the upper part of her torso. It just tears right through it and impacts on the wall behind her. But you know that the bladed tip of that arrow hit because she grabs her side and shouts and throws herself back against the wall. Not behind cover, but just like in surprise as you boldly step away from your place of safety, pull that arrow back and make the shot. You nicked her good. That's the last action of the round. It is the top of the round. Let's roll a hacking check as you continue to access that password. What'd you roll? You're muted.
A 10.
A 10. You see so you accidentally trigger one of the incorrect password denial triggers. And it says nope. So
What's going to happen is
you don't lose any,
sorry.
you don't lose any momentum on this. You're not going
Right.
to lose any momentum on this, but you are going to lose this round of hacking this thing.
Yeah. We're just going to say in my playlist, the Benny Hill song came on, theme song came on, and it distracted me. It's like, no, skip. No.
All right. So as that wraps up, the next up is our security guy.
Shoot me.
Nope, he's turning his attention onto the arrow thrower. He's going to open fire on Daff. His eyes are wide. He seems a little surprised by the boldness of the attack, and he opens fire. What's your AC, Daff?
14.
That's going to miss. Bam! Sparks fly right next to you as he rolls too low. He may have been a little shocked. He was so focused on trying to kill Patch that he didn't even notice you just lunge out of the corner with an arrow, kind of lean to the left and fire a shot like Hawkeye. Let's go ahead and jump to the next person in the initiative order, which is going to be, I believe that's you, Patch.
Yeah, so I've now taken burst fire shot, which uses 2 of my 4 attacks, and then I've made 2 more attacks. Is reloading an action or a bonus action?
It's an action. Unless you have a skill that gives you a bonus action.
So I do have rapid.
Hold on, let me double check that.
Yeah,
because this is a new rule system, and I want to make sure because it could be a move action.
There is a class feature for one of the classes where that is the case, but it wasn't clear to me on a quick term search.
Let me double check.
Yeah, I know for me, reloading.
When the weapon has the reload property, each time you use the weapon expends ammunition. The entry describes the number of ranged attacks a weapon can make before reloading is happening. Reloading requires an action.
So
I'm so sorry. I've been screwing this up the whole time. I should have been taking an action to reload my bow every single time.
That's okay.
Which means,
That's okay.
Keeping that in mind.
So
for next time.
we'll know. So you have to reload. So your next action will be pulling another arrow and reloading. That's okay. We can do that from now on. That's totally fine.
I do.
This is learning spy game as much as it is playing. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
So it's toward gadgets. I don't know whether weapons count as gadgets, but when I use a gadget that requires an action to use, I can spend 2 technical points of my 3 as a technical wizard to use the gadget as a bonus action. Can I use that for a reload? For a rapid reload? And then shoot on my action?
Is your gun a gadget? No. Gadgets
I
are
don't
like artifacts or magical items in this game.
One has to try.
That's fair. If you wanted to, but what I might do if you were to ask me that to use Phoenix's grapple, I might let you take 2 moves in a round to clear distance.
You know what? You're right. Because especially with Phoenix, I get additional melee damage. I'm out of ammo. So it's one of those things where
shit.
I'll whip the gun over my shoulder with the strap. Put one hand on a rim and then bang into that grapple spot so it hits just above the door to the control room.
Okay.
And I'm going to flying grapple with my baton into them.
Okay. You spend your tech points, you can clear the distance and make an attack when you get there.
Yep.
Okay, so you can hear the spy music, the Bond theme play as all of a sudden this grapple, you basically Widowmaker yourself across this space, grapple onto the ceiling, and in a blink of an eye, you see Patch clear the distance of the room, launching themselves across the open space, and impact on the ground right in front of the decoy, who stares in stunned shock as you're now in melee range. What would you like to do?
I'm going to F equals MA. I'm using that acceleration with my baton into his face.
Okay. Awesome. Make your attack roll. That is pretty rad.
18 on the dice, plus 2, dirty 20.
You hit the fuck out of him.
So on me,
go ahead.
that's 1d4 plus
Plus Phoenix is giving you some damage.
1 plus 2. So yes, 1d4 plus 3. So that's 4.
4 points. You hurl yourself across the room. He's got that precious moment again. That beat between things that are happening, where he sees it coming, like somebody who sees a car that's about to impact on them. He sees you, and there's that moment of disbelief when the professionalism kicks back in and he aims the gun up at you just in time to receive a baton to the face from a canonized Patch who hurls themselves across the room. The impact, Patch, of the club hitting him, you can hear that sickening pop sound of that club across the top of his skull. You know from the sound of the gun clattering against the wall behind him that you delivered a hard knockout as it impacts across the top of his head. He goes plopping back against the wall and slams into the ground. Done. Done and done. However, Jijin stares at you at point blank range with a gun in her hand, and you can tell what her intention are the moment she sees what you've done. That's your action, Patch. The next up, 21. That's going to take us down to... that's going to be Jijin, isn't it? Nope. It's actually Gray. Gray is next. All right, Gray.
So, here we go. So Gray sees this like truly a work of art. She's so proud. This gets an extra sticker later, but does not like the way that Jijin is pointing a gun at their friend currently. And so what Gray is going to do is pop a painkiller because she's already used her first aid kit on Patch. So pop a painkiller. Hopefully that helps a little bit with the 4 health I have left. And then is going to aim at Jijin with her light pistol.
Okay. So
Yeah.
make a roll.
Let's do it. Okay, thank God. That's a 17 plus dirty 20.
That's a definite hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, thank God. Okay, that's a 7 plus a 2. That's a hold on. No, that's 7 plus a 1. That's an 8 piercing damage.
She raises the gun into your face, and there's a split second, Patch, where she's got you. Every agent has the moment. You've heard stories. She's got you deadlocked. You're staring down the barrel of the gun, and you hear the gunshot. Bam! And the blood spray against the wall behind her is all it takes for you to realize that it's not you that just died. When you open your eyes again, she's lying on the ground just as an alarm klaxon begins to go off. And the drill starts to go angling down towards the what looks like this dirted floor. Make a roll.
Oh,
Make a roll, hacker.
Okay.
Might need some mechanical help with this one too.
Dirty 20.
Okay, roll
Okay.
a d4.
Okay.
The scientists are at the console still.
3.
3. Okay, it takes 3 more points of damage. You start to realize, Machete, you're like, if you don't get the password, you're not going to make it. You need the password right now. Right now. You can't spend any more time guessing it. You're out of time. You need to get into this computer right now.
I'm just gonna on comms to my team, be like, password, get it now.
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yep.
So hearing that,
We're out of combat now, by the way.
yeah. Daff starts like bounding up the stairs to get to the room and sees the scientists at the consoles and unsheathes their machete and just kind of like levels it at the scientists. Go, you can stop typing or you can lose your hands.
So in Japanese?
Yeah, she's dead. You've lost. Move away from the console.
Okay. I'm going to say roll an intimidation check, but the DC is 5. So you basically just need to
I rolled an 8.
I'm so glad that we broke the one streak. They're panicked. They immediately get up and move away from the console with their hands raised. You can see they're visibly shaking.
Password.
Yep.
Taco
and I was like-
Tuesday with the money sign didn't work.
And yeah, in Japanese, they continues like, help her, and point over at Machete. It's like, give us the password now.
One of the scientists immediately blurts out the password. It's just a series of numbers and a couple of letters. You hear that over the comms. So we're going to say you get the password.
Monster minus 69.
All right. So
Nice.
you pound in the password. I'm going to need, you have full access to the drill now.
Okay.
So make one more hacking check.
Okay.
The AC is 11.
Woo! 13.
Okay, roll a d4.
Actually, it was a 16 with my modifier.
Okay.
D4.
And you see the drill is getting closer to the ground as it angles down.
4. Yeah,
4 points of
baby.
damage. You need one more round.
Shit. Okay.
And I'm going to roll. We're going to do this. We're going to do this real quick. Roll initiative. But I'm going to let you roll your hacking ability for the initiative. For funsies. Okay.
You mean add my modifier for info
Yeah.
check? So 9, 10, 11, 12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
You beat the drill by 1.
Yes.
So as
Okay.
the drill begins to drill into the surface of the ground where you see the rock begin to build up around the metal, it goes, you gain full access and you go, you all hear Machete go, ha! And then bam, and the drill goes,
I'm going to look at everyone. Y'all are all bleeding. Did you all get shot?
What made you? What gave you that impression? Besides the open wounds on our bodies.
Some of us also got tasered. Let's not sell ourselves short.
and Patch, you're just looking at the gun that's laying on the ground that was aiming at you a second ago.
You okay?
Anything you can walk away from.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right. Let's
So
call
what you
PP
all
and start
learned.
getting this lockdown cleaned up.
Congratulations,
Anyone?
agents. What you learn is that she was indeed trying to sabotage this island and destroy the facility so that she could basically up her portfolio and ruin green energy. Was the whole plan. She was going to kill 7,000 people to do it, and she was not going to stop at anything. However, because you guys stole the data chip, she did not have the point of location that she needed to hit with the drill in order to enact her plan, which means that from the top, everything had gone south and that she was having major difficulties doing it. It's what gave you all the time you had to get this mission complete. And just for funsies, we raised the stakes at the end, but mission accomplished. I have to say, all four of you, not only in Act 1 did you completely succeed with flying colors, but you managed to absolutely uncover the plot on your own accord by connecting the dots and stopping it. Well done, agents. Streetworks is going to clean up.
Gold stars all around.
I hope we get to see these characters again, y'all.
Yeah.
Because
This is fun.
Spy Game is pretty fun. We've only just scratched the surface of this. And I would love to see more. I really want to, next time we play this, because we're gonna play this again. The next time we play this, I definitely want there to be a chase scene.
I don't ask for much, but it's okay. We have a whole the credits montage is through Tokyo and everybody like having their best Tokyo life, which of course includes Patch's chase.
You
All
get
right.
some drag racing,
Yeah.
some drift.
It was a deleted scene in the credits. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Before we go, I want to let everybody know that if you've been paying attention in chat, I've been informed that Sam over at Black Cats Gaming is actually giving out some things that you guys might enjoy. They're doing a free PDF giveaway. We've been told. So if you want to get a copy of Spy Game, this has been by now, I'm sure the giveaway has happened. But for those of you who have not had a chance to check out Spy Game, remember the quick start that we just ran today is free on DriveThruRPG. And I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Black Cats Gaming, because not only is it wonderful to be sponsored by a fantastic game, that's the dream, is to not only be sponsored, but to be sponsored by a game you love to play. But just as our first official sponsor of the Streampunks, we really appreciate the support, and this has been a blast to play. We're looking forward to playing this again. So thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for this one-shot two-parter. We will see you again in the future, and with any luck, this will not be the last time we see our agents. Check out Spy Game on DriveThruRPG. Until then, this message will self-destruct.